Yes, 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 yes. Come on, people, let's go. Come on, let's do this. I tell you, the day on in the building. I'm in the building right now. It's all about ISTV. One ISTV Intercontinental Sport TV. Back again with on this one. What's going on, people? Smash it like on the video. I'm telling you, it's gonna be loud tonight. I'm telling you, it's all about EPL Awards 2023-2024 on this channel. It is Premier League time. It's Premier League time, please. What are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel. The Dawn in the building. Let's move forward. I'm telling you, this season is about to end, and we got to end this on a very good note. I'm telling you, on a very good note. Not always here alone. Please smash the like on the video from my crew. We'll be coming in one by one. I think in the building right now, Tibet is here with me. We are wrapping up this season tomorrow. I'm talking about English Premier League. I know definitely Bundesliga has been concluded, but right now, it's all about Premier League time. The Dawn in the building. Smash the like on the video, subscribe. It has been a very wonderful journey so far. I tell you, it is fantastic. Right now, right there. Let me welcome this great gentleman. Tibet is joining me tonight. Tibet, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yo, man, I can hear you loud and very clear. It's time to come back and drop it as the hell. You know how we do it on ISTV? We give you the hits back to back.
All right, you can hear it from this man. Tibet's telling me we have to drop this back to back. And also welcoming this great man. Wisdom is joining us live as well too. Wisdom, can you hear me loud and clear? Let's do this. Can you hear me? Wisdom, welcome to the show. Yeah, Wisdom, you're struggling to hear me. Am I right? Can you hear me loud and clear? Wisdom, talk to me. Check your mic. Check your mic at the moment. Let's do this. People are waiting to hear from the ISTV EPL Award 2023-2024. Wisdom, can you hear me? I barely hear you right now. Yeah, is going to join us, and it's been a fantastic journey on ISTV. I'm talking about this Premier League, English Premier League. It's been a fantastic. Let's see what we have. It's all about this journey from these two teams. I'm talking about the City and Arsenal on the table right there. You can see it. Can anything happen? Let me start with this. Tibet, can anything happen tomorrow? What do you think is going to happen?
The Dawn, do you want me to be honest, or do you want me to start my 8th watch?
You talk to me. What do you think?
Let me start with my 8th watch. Let me tell you how tomorrow is going to go. West Ham will score 2 goals. Yeah. And Arsenal is jubilating that they will win the league. Then comes second half, 30 minutes to the end of the match. Haaland scores hat-trick. City wins the league. Bam. The prophet has spoken.
Yeah, the prophet has spoken. Yes, the prophet has spoken. I'm struggling with Wisdom. Can you hear me loud and clear? Wisdom joining us. He's battling with his mic there. Wisdom, can you hear me? Oh my goodness. I can hear you, Wisdom. Oh my goodness. I'm losing this guy as I'm trying to connect with this guy as much as he can. I think the network is so bad right now. Tibet already said Man City is going to win. At this moment, it's going to go down. Tibet, this season has been very, very interesting. I won't lie to you. This is going to be the last game. And I think City has done it on and on before.
Yes.
What do you think?
The problem with City always winning the league that I think has always been an advantage. Arsenal tried this season also because they were able to match that department of Cities. They have the squad depth. Yes. And that's an asset to have in EPL. EPL is unforgiving. EPL goes full trophy from the beginning of the season to the end. Bar this winter break that has been brought in, is this so much of a break when people are playing Carling Cup or FA Cup we play in between? But if you compare it to what we have in other leagues, when they give them winter breaks, it is just a total break from football. So in EPL, having a squad that can stand the test of time has
Yes.
been the greatest strength of City. And you can see if City changes their first 11, their second 11 can still do a job against the Don FC or whichever FC that has come.
Yay!
Against whichever FC that has come to their front. So, I mean, Arsenal, you can see this season, the injuries they struggled with last season, they've been able to step themselves up by adding to their squad depth. And with what I'm hearing, I've heard that they want to invest more in the squad with about 100 million. So EPL is going to get more crazy and more interesting. And don't forget, Liverpool will be back next season. Let me just sneak that in.
I hear you. I hear you. Liverpool will be back next season. All right, Wisdom, can you still hear me? Oh my goodness, I can't hear this.
Yes,
guy.
I can. Good evening.
Oh, yes.
To
You're
you,
welcome.
the Dawn.
Yeah. What's going on, bro? You're welcome to the show. It's Premier League time. Let's talk. What's
Thank
going
you
on?
very much.
Can anything happen tomorrow?
I've been struggling with the network.
I see. Can anything
Sorry, I
happen tomorrow?
apologize for coming behind time. I've been struggling with the network. Okay, so let me go straight into it. We must accept that football is an unpredictable kind of sport. Life, it's like life in general. You want A, you are seeing B. In tomorrow's game, we must keep our minds open that anything can really happen. But if we have to be very realistic, it is Manchester City's to lose, because what's their assignment? Win against West Ham United by any form of margin, you will be crowned champions. It's as easy as that. You don't need so many goals in order to win the Premier League title. You only need to chalk up to the board 3 maximum points, and that would put you where you want to be. In terms of Arsenal, credit to Mikel Arteta and his charges. They've had an amazing season, phenomenal. They've gone toe-to-toe with a City side that is dripping with quality. Squad depth is their second name. And having to match them all season to take it to the final day of the season is fantastic. And it's good I point out that the Premier League has been decided 9 times in the final day of the season. And 4 of the last time this happened, City won. The possibility that Arsenal could equally finish with as many as, how many points? 90, 93 or 90, 91 points and still not be crowned champions. You look at that number, it's crazy, and you think this team should be crowned champions. But the presence of City is the mitigating factor. I was discussing with someone and I said, look at Jurgen Klopp, he's living with just 1 Premier League title. No thanks to Pep and Manchester City. That man could have won more. And that's the same thing we are going to see tomorrow. Arsenal will have to focus on their task. They have to keep their heads down, knuckle down, face Everton, who I think will pose some level of threat, because I'm sure they would want to finish their season on a high. However, it is not beyond Arsenal to record a maximum 3 goals in that game with maximum 3 points. However, the entire drama lies with City. And for Pep, if you don't mind, I mention him. While he spoke in the aftermath of their 2-0 win over Tottenham, he reminded the pressmen present of how Con Aguero scored late in their game against Queen's Park Rangers, which won them their first title in a very awful while. He equally remembered a final season against Aston Villa where they had to come from behind as well to win. So that goes to show that he understands that this game is not won or lost until the referee's last blast of the whistle. So the page is open, the chapter is open, you can write whatever you want, but tomorrow it will be a massive game for us to witness.
Yes. All right. Thank you for that insightful wisdom from the lyrics. Tibit, I want to quickly ask you something about Arsenal right now. Are we going to say if Arsenal is not going to win league tomorrow? Please don't come for my head. Have they achieved anything this season without winning any trophy? Where are you going to place them?
First off, the Don, let me welcome Mr. Wisdom today. Mr. Wisdom is sounding like Shakespeare. It wants the fairy tale ending. Where Arsenal can still write the script. The script is open. Oh, Danny!
Oh my God!
Nothing can happen. I'm a Liverpool fan and I've been there, I've done that. I know what City will do to you. City will make you feel like you have a chance. You know that on the Dawn, we had this program not too long ago on ISTV when I was trying to convince an Arsenal fan. He said City has not been their best this season. That I'm saying City doesn't have to be at their
I lost you there. Okay. Tibit, I think I lost you there. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you
The
hear me?
network.
Yes.
The
Sorry,
network
I
is
can't hear
really
me. I'm so
crazy.
sorry. All right. So what I'm trying to say in essence is I love how beautifully Mr. Wisdom put the grammars together. I mean, if I was a girl, I'll be licking my lips now like, oh God. But this is Man City's football. Let's forget all of those Shakespearean English and face the reality. Man City's leg is on the throat of the goat now. Do you think that the goat will not end up being an Asun Benny Asunti lover?
Yay! He's getting developing this.
Back to your question, the dog.
Yeah,
honestly, I've said this thing over and over again. It pains me so much to say because I love Arteta. I love a coach who has his own idea and who can implement his idea. That's why I'm never and I will never be a fan of Ten Hag. When Arsenal were down to the bare bones, when they had the likes of El Neni, Kolasinac, Arteta could still implement his style. We could just see that they were not consistent. But with Ten Hag, we can see that we can't even identify a particular style. So as much as I'm trying to say that, it will be an awful season, really. I told someone something. Imagine Ten Hag's Man U wins the FA Cup. They've had a fantastic season, and Arsenal's season has been woeful. They've lost out on the FA Cup, lost out on the Carabao Cup, lost out on the Champions League, and now they want to lose out on the English. So it begs the question. It is something Klopp had to learn immediately he won the Premier League. The England football is very unpredictable. It is not the kind of football that you want to put all your eggs in one basket. Oh, let me focus on the league first. Let me abandon. Look at City. City does not care. If it's Carabao, they are going all out. If it's FA, they are going all out. So I'm sorry, if Arsenal do not win the league tomorrow, they've had an awful season. And the question is, how long more before Arteta finally gets his hand on the trophy that Arsenal fans want? If the news, according to the media, is true, I think next season will be last if he does not win, because I'm hearing another £100 million investment about to come into Arsenal again. So who do you buy again this time around? Are you going to buy the Don and Mr. Wisdom to win
Mr. Wisdom, do you agree with this point that
oh my God.
do you agree with T-Bits right there that they've not achieved anything this season? Please drop your comment anywhere you're watching from. Let's hear from you. Wisdom, do you agree with that? If Arteta did not win the league tomorrow, how is their season? How can we categorize their season? Is it bad or good or what?
Jurgen. Okay, Jurgen Klopp will be leaving Liverpool tomorrow. That will be his last game in charge. And like I keep saying, he won a bit of everything. The Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, FIFA Club World Cup. He's going to be leaving, looking back at the silverwares he had won for them since 2015 when he took over the reins, steadied the ship, implemented his philosophy, worked on his team, got Salah, the likes of Firmino, Sadio Mane, and the likes. And he's worked out things and has won everything that is to be won as a Liverpool manager. That's his pride. That's what he's going to look back at and feel very fulfilled. If that's the case for him, I don't know how he feels. So Mikel Arteta and for sure the Arsenal board would feel they have missed out on another season of winning a trophy. I'm not going to agree with him to say they had a woeful season. It's a lot to go toe-to-toe with Manchester City. It's a lot. It's draining. It's energy sapping. It takes a lot of mauling and think tanks here and there for you to be able to produce a team that could match Manchester City in the Premier League. So that's an achievement on its own, although without a trophy. And it means that I've learned something or the other. I could work on this coming next season and all of that. But in terms of being satisfied, I don't think Mikel will be. And he needs to learn that you have to spread your tentacles across the board. Vie for the Carabao Cup, vie for the Premier League, vie for everything that is to be won. We have to agree that Mauricio Pochettino almost won a trophy. He could have won the Carabao Cup himself. And would you say he never had a good season if he finishes in sixth and has a trophy on his hands? That would be fascinating. So I agree with him a bit, but the narrative of calling it woeful is what I completely disagree with. They have lost on a
Mr.
silverware
Wisdom, the
if they don't win
currency of
tomorrow,
football,
but they never had a bad season.
the currency of football that I understand they done is
Yeah.
trophies. And Arsenal is not Sunderland. Arsenal is not Brighton. I gave someone an analysis. One of the lazy narrative people throw in England that I do not like now is they gave Jurgen Klopp time. How long did Jurgen Klopp use? He used 4 seasons. This is Mikel Arteta's 5th season already. So
Yeah.
how long do we keep giving him before he produces a major trophy? So at some point, you need to be realistic with yourself and hold it by the truth and say that they have to step up, which means they've been woeful. If you say City is the reason why you can't call them woeful, I mean, it is nobody's
I'm not.
fault that City.
I'm not disputing the fact. I hope you clearly understand. Tibit, I hope you understand that I'm not, you are mistaken if you think I don't feel they have failed. But using woeful is looking back at Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, back in April, sometime in April when they were somewhere in 12th. That's having a woeful season. All right. But when you have yourself challenging for the Premier League, look, I hope we hold this kind of conversation after tomorrow, because obviously Arsenal could still win the title, and everything you've said, you have to swallow your words. All right. So
But Mr.
I agree
Wisdom,
with you. You have to
Mr.
win a
Wisdom,
trophy, but
Mr.
regarding their
Wisdom,
season as woeful is a bit over the top.
Mr. Wisdom, what I understand here is this. It is a very simple language to say. If you
I'm
say
listening.
if you say Chelsea is whatever position they are, and if they had won the Carabao Cup, they would have had a successful season. Now the question remains: if you don't agree they've been woeful because they've gone toe to toe with Manchester City on the winner scoreboard, are they going to write toe to toe with Manchester City? It is not going to be something to give an acknowledgement for. So in terms of modern day football, it's a woeful season. I mean, Jurgen Klopp, in the season where he had Van Dijk injured and most of his guys injured, we still came third. It was a great achievement for Jurgen Klopp. But in terms of the currency of football, it was a woeful season. You can't tell me I'm supposed to celebrate being an Arsenal fan. You can't tell me I'm supposed to celebrate being second. I mean, I read the statistics recently. Arsenal has not won EPL in 20 years. And I'm supposed to celebrate a coach who's getting me second consistently.
Yeah,
No, I
back in
mean, at some
2004.
point, we need to be realistic and say the truth. I get where you're coming from. You're the diplomatic guy, Mr. Wisdom Shakespeare. But me, I'm not diplomatic. Woeful season!
All right. Please, anywhere you're watching from, you can drop a comment to let us know what you feel about this season for Arsenal. Have they performed so well? Can we call it woeful season for them? Considering the fact that they have everything, but Juggernaut Man City say hell no, sit down there. All right, moving on to this one. We are going to do on this show tonight. We are going to look at the EPL best 11 for ISTV. I'm talking about 2023-2024. We are going to look at that. We're going to display what we need to display there. And also the awards tonight. We're going to look at the best players, the best young players, and the best signing, best newcomer, the best coach performance, biggest achievers, and the biggest underachievers. Don't tell me Manchester United yet. And also the favorite game we've watched so far in this season. Also, I'm welcoming this guy, Ajediti Oluwajubelo, if he's going to join us as the time goes on. Also, what else do we have? Also, we've seen this coming, but we are going to choose our own. I'm talking about whether this guy deserves it. We're going to still look at that. Also, Foden winning the player of the season. But ICV, we could have another different opinion. And also, we are going to rate your club. We're going to start with all the clubs that have played this season in 2023-2024 season. We want to rate your club from 1 to 10. So sit back, a lot of action, a lot of things to twist in this show. All right, also the last game for tomorrow, we're going to look at all the games as well. To Arsenal, we'll be welcoming Everton. Brentford will be facing Newcastle. Brentford versus Newcastle. Brighton will be welcome Manchester United. Also Burnley versus Nottingham Forest. Chelsea, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace also will be welcoming Aston Villa. Whereas Wolves will be traveling all the way to Anfield tomorrow. I'm sure T-Bits will be ready for that match. And that will be the last game according to Liverpool. Jordan Klopp will be playing on the top tomorrow. Luton will be welcoming Fulham. Man City will be playing West Ham, another big game right there. And also Sheffield United will be welcoming Spurs. All this will be discussing on this show. But let's start with the best 11. Let me try and welcome this person. JDT, if you can hear me, you are live. You're trying. I think the network is so bad. TB, I think the network is so bad tonight, right there.
Yes. I think the network in this part of the world is not too good.
Oh my goodness. All right, let me share. Let's do our team of the season. Let me share my screen. I'm trying to share my screen right now. Yes. Wisdom, can you see it? The team of the season. That's how we want to put our formation. 5, 3, 2, 1.
I think it's loading. Yeah.
TB, can you see it?
Yes, definitely, boss. I can see it.
All right.
Looking forward to it. It's here to display. I've yet to see it.
Is that the goalkeeper?
Yeah, that's the goalkeeper. So, which goalkeeper? If I want to start with you, T-Bit, which goalkeeper do you think did exceptionally well this season?
I'll almost be a devil's incarnate this season.
You
know why?
Don't do
You
that.
know why? I am of the opinion that football should be looked at holistically. For instance, you call Haaland a good footballer because he scored 40 goals. But in essence, is he actually a good footballer or a good finisher? One has to start to use the right languages to qualify this thing. So if you say best goalkeeper, everybody jumps and calls David Raya.
Yeah.
But I've seen so much of David Raya, and the stats that counts to me more is expected goals saved for a goalkeeper, and is really, really low on that metrics. On that metrics, you have people like Alisson going high, and in a weird way, even Onana is even high a bit on that metrics. So I mean, Vicario of Tottenham is high on that metrics. So I would not join the bad work. And thank God this is ISTV. We do our things our own way. I will not. I beg to also, or let me leave it open for Mr. Wisdom to get his own point of view. But for me, anything that has to do with David Raya, I'm logging out.
Mr. Wisdom, talk to me. What do you feel about this one? The goalkeeper. Which one are you choosing? Which one are you going for? I want to hear from you, Wisdom. I think please unmute your mic. Wisdom, I can't hear you. Unmute your mic. Okay, yes.
Can you display it or possibly tell me the names, because I'm yet to see it on the screen?
No, just which goalkeeper suits you this team of the season? Which goalkeeper are you going to go for?
I'm yet to see it on my own screen. Maybe.
No, just tell us the goalkeeper you think
It's a tough call. Well, I think the likes of David Raya is up there amongst the best as far as the season is concerned. Expected goals, yes. There are so many metrics. It depends on where you are looking at it from. 18 clean sheets. It's a massive thing, isn't it? I know he's going to say expected goals. How about if those goals had gone in? They didn't go in, right? So 18 clean sheets. I can't look away from David Raya. Others did well. Pickford, good goalkeeper. Even Onana did very well in his own right. The likes of Petrovic, who stepped into the void left by Robert Sanchez, did massively well as well. Other goalkeepers in the Premier League, but I don't think there is any other one deserving than David Raya.
David Raya. Tibet is going to have a contrary opinion, and I think from my own point of view too, so many goalkeepers there. Onana is there. We can see Onana. We can
the Don. It is. Yeah. I get where Mr. Wisdom is coming from, but this is quite straightforward. Clean sheets is not a metric to define how good a goalkeeper is. I'll give you an instance. Unai Simon in the Spanish league 2 seasons ago was phenomenal, and the reason why it was phenomenal was because he could play out of the back. When he went to the World Cup with Spain, he terribly performed there. So David Raya, even if you look at the errors David Raya had made this season, schoolboy errors, the only thing David Raya brings to this Arsenal side is his ability to play out of the back with so much confidence. I'm not taking anything away from David Raya, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying that I can't judge him off having 18 clean sheets. No, I mean any other person can. Personally, for me, David Raya shot stopping abilities are questionable. I mean, Arteta himself had said it at some point that if your defense is doing the job they should do, there will be less work on your goalkeeper. And what even drives my point home more is Arsenal's defense are the ones that have considered the less amount of shots whole season. They are the ones that concede the lowest amount of opportunities the whole season. In fact, the XG against Arsenal defense is very low, which also drives my point home that David Raya is just there most of the time, chilling, waiting for the ball to get to his leg, gives a crossfit pass to Didon, and we are shouting around the social media, Raya. I just feel like football should be more than. I was telling someone something. Jeremy Doku, for instance, will not rate very high in terms of assists, but Jeremy Doku to Manchester City is a great asset. The ability to come in, disrupt the opposition, get them thinking, get them worried is an asset. So we should start growing beyond generic terms to measure players. Like Roy Keane will say concerning Haaland. Haaland's job is to finish. Haaland scores goals, but generally Haaland is not a footballer you want to say, anytime I watch Haaland, I feel so much of joy. Have you seen Delima Ronaldo play the center forward position, fam? Have you seen the strikers I grew up watching? I mean, this modern day football gets me sick. We are just obsessed with goals and assists. For goalkeepers, we are obsessed with clean sheets. I mean, we need to grow beyond that. And driving the point home with what Mr. Wisdom is saying, I don't want to argue against David Raya's clean sheet, but I mean, me personally, I won't go for David Raya, but if Mr. Wisdom wants David Raya, I'm all in also.
All right. By this virtue, I think we're going to put...
if you could suggest a better goalkeeper, I mean, that I would have taken it. If he's going to mention one goalkeeper who we can look at and say, all right, you've done fantastically well, better than David Raya, I mean, I would be okay with it. But obviously, there is no other person you could look at, and the metrics as well could support to say he's the better goalkeeper this season. So we have to stick with David Raya. He's got a clean sheet. His defense were immaculate. Everybody playing their role, ensuring that they considered less number of shots.
Alisson has had a better season than David Raya. I was showing someone a chart this morning. In all the metrics you can use, shot saved, expected goal saved. There's one other one. I think. Sorry, I'm trying to remember now. When I get it, I'll bring it out. The only two things that David Raya tops the chart at, which is very funny for a modern day goalkeeper, is one, clean sheet, and two, distribution. And in fact, he's not the one with the best distribution. His distribution is second. Onana has the best distribution. So David Raya is just enjoying the fact that it's coming to a club that are challenging for trophies. Look at Kepa. When Kepa was in Madrid, people were under the illusion that Kepa is rejuvenated. until Madrid had a rough patch and everybody began to see the problems that are evident in Kepa. But throughout this season, Arsenal have been on. I mean, they've been going up, up, up.
Amazingly.
So we've not really had anything. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to argue against it, because right now all of us are obsessed with unnecessary stats. Like you said, we can't argue against his 18 clean sheets. So that's why I'm going to keep him there. But me being a football person, a tactical person, David Raya doesn't come close for me. Honestly, it doesn't come close.
All right. I'm going to put a question mark for our viewers if they have another different opinion about this Raya. But for me, I will just stick with Raya, at least the clean sheet.
Didon. Do you know what is even more funny?
Yeah.
David Raya doesn't even get into a Spanish team.
Can you imagine?
The number one goalkeeper is Unai Simon. I don't know what this new coach will now do in terms of what he has done in Arsenal. But even when he was in Brentford, when he started making a name for himself, he never got the shout to get into the Spanish team. It was always Unai Simon, Kepa, and Reina. Thank God Reina is now retired. Maybe he will not get a call up. So that's the point I'm trying to make, that beyond, look at what people will say, beyond your abilities with your feet, you should be able to stop us from conceding goals.
They don't, you know that it's different strokes for different folks. How does a manager want to play? Does he want to play out from the back? Does he want a sweeper goalkeeper? I mean, that's what ETH wanted. He got Andre Onana, and I'm sure he has accepted everything that came with a sweeper goalkeeper. Others would have gone for a traditional goalkeeper who is good in shot stopping and in proper goalkeeping, not being the modern day hybrid midfield. I mean, so it depends on the coach who is there. Does he want Raya? If he wants Raya, surely he's going to upstage whoever is the traditional goalkeeper who you've mentioned is Unai Simon. So breaking into the national team at times is not just about brilliance. It's about what the manager wants. What does he want to see his team do? And it informs his decision on who and who to drop. You get that's what I feel. But he's a good goalkeeper, and there are others who are better. However, the number in terms of the goalkeeper, clean sheets is on his side. That's all I have to say.
All right, moving on to this. I want us to talk about the right back this season. Is it Walker? Is it Alexander-Arnold? This guy in Manchester United, Dalot. Who do you think should be on the right back?
Once again, they done.
Yeah,
I'm going to be unconventional. People are not giving this guy a shout, and I don't know why. Why are we obsessed with goals and assists? Ben White should be nailed down the best right back in the league this season. Ben White, nailed down. But because he doesn't post 40 assists, it's not beautiful to see in the eye. He doesn't do leg over. He's not wearing face cap like the Don. We don't want to rate him. I mean, because he's not speaking eloquent English like Mr. Wisdom. We don't think he's a good footballer. But I mean, honestly, Ben White for me has been solid defensively. In attack, in offensively also, he's been a massive addition to this Arsenal squad. And Walker has had his problems all season. Walker has had his problem. Dalot is inconsistent. Obviously, even being a Liverpool fan, I can't put Trent there. Reece James has not been consistent because of his injury in and out. Malo Gusto, very inconsistent. Which other right back is there for us to call? So if Ben White is not the nailed down best right back this season, then I think there's something wrong. But I'm open to hear Mr. Wisdom's opinion also.
All right, Wisdom, over to you. The right back of the season. Unmute your mic. Yeah, Wisdom, yeah.
Let me say that Malo Gusto has had a fantastic season. Yeah. I completely agree with him, even though I would beg to differ in his statement and his narrative about some of those players he mentioned. I will start with Malo Gusto. For a 20-year-old French right back coming to the Premier League and taking the Premier League like a dog to water is fantastic. You don't expect a young player. We know what it means to transition, moving to a new country and having to adapt in the country where you are and all of that. It's always a difficult task to actually accomplish, and especially in the Premier League, not like every other league in French Ligue 1 or German Bundesliga. So we have to give him his flowers. He was amazing. He has been amazing for Chelsea, especially making Premier League fans not remember that Chelsea have played all of their season without Reece James. All right. So if Reece James was being missed at Chelsea, we could have said, okay, he's not been phenomenal, but he has. We have barely talked about Reece James, and we know what happened the last time he played, where he was sent off. We can't take anything away.
I lost him there. I think the network is really serving him bad right now. Wisdom, can you still hear me? I think I lost him there. The network is really bad. Please smash the like on the video. So we are gonna go for this guy, Ben White, no doubt about it. I'm gonna go for Ben White, no doubt about it. Ben White. Tibbit, you still there with me?
I'm still with you, my brother. I'm still with you.
All right, Ben White. Ben White is going to nick that one down. Moving on to the left back. Wisdom, jump out and jump in. I can't hear you loud and clear. I don't know whether I lost him there. I think so. All right. On the left back, Tibbit.
Let me see. That's going to be dicey.
We can't put Zinchenko should not be there. No doubt.
Who's that? Let's look at the options. Let's look at Manchester City. Who is their left back there? They play Gadwell, sometimes Akonji, sometimes Nathan Ake. So they've not had a consistent left back all season. Let's look at Arsenal. Arsenal too, I don't think they've had a consistent left back all season. Yes. Sometimes they play with Tomiyasu there. Sometimes they play with Zinchenko. And I don't think I want to go with Zinchenko. Robertson, I don't think I want to go with Robertson also. They done. Or should we just put you there?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I think it will be difficult to argue against. Or the best thing we can do is let's not go for a generic left back. Yeah. Let's just go for a proper defender who is also good enough this season. If we are going to be speaking on that terms, then I'll put Gabriel there. Gabriel of Arsenal.
I think I'm looking at Gabriel should be pairing with Saliba in the center midfield. If we are looking at
where do you want to throw Van Dijk? Where do you want to throw Van Dijk season?
Come on, that's true.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Let's just ignore the position, right? And let's just have three very good center backs there. And to even make it easy, Gabriel is a left-footed center back. So Gabriel, Saliba, Van Dijk.
So let's say Gabi will be there. Then I'm going to put, no doubt, this Saliba should be there. All right?
Yeah, then Van Dijk.
All right. That's interesting. We're done with the back five. Let's move on to the midfield.
Rodri has to be there for starters. Rodri has to be there.
And I think Rice. Jollof rice.
We can't argue. Myself, I like rice.
Oh my goodness. All right, moving on to the inner world. On the left. Look at it critically. I mean, T-Beat. We have so many options. This guy's. I can't put this guy Doku. I can't put Doku there.
No. Doku doesn't have a business with this lineup.
Could we do Foden? Foden should be there.
Let's put Foden there. In the center, nobody should argue with Martin Odegaard. Odegaard has to be in the center.
Odegaard, yeah.
Martin Odegaard has to be in the center. So
It
who
should be
takes
there.
the right? Okay, the right
The
has
right.
to go to Saka, Bukayo Saka.
Now, this is the contention now. Where are we
Okay.
going to put Palmer? Cole Palmer.
Hey!
See? Palmer.
all right.
Palmer should be there.
Palmer
Now,
should be there.
this is where we are going to put Alan or Watkins. Which one should we go for?
To me
Watkins.
personally, Watkins is a better footballer than Haaland. But like Mr. Wisdom will say, we can't argue with the numbers of this modern day football. We can't argue against Haaland's. He went on injury, he came back, he still kept on scoring, he still won. I think he's going to finish with the golden boots.
Yeah.
So I think we can't argue against Haaland.
Let's say Haaland.
We can't argue against Haaland.
Haaland should be there. This is
the
team of the season for ISTV at the moment. In goal,
no other team can beat our team. No other team. The Don is the coach, TB is the assistant coach.
All right, we have Raya in goal. On the left back, we have Gabriel of Arsenal, Saliba pairing with VVD, and on the right side, Ben White. Also moving on to the midfield, Rodri and Raj maintaining that midfield. On moving forward, Foden. I think Foden is the best player of this season.
Yes.
If I may ask you, do you agree with that?
You know the reason why everything favors Foden?
Yes.
Foden is because he's young, then he's carrying this Manchester City's team on his back. You know how many times Foden has come to the rescue of Man City? Palmer would have won it if Chelsea were vying for these top positions, but they are not. So his work in Chelsea is immaterial at the end of the day because they are not using it to get anything in return. You understand? That is what is working against Palmer. If not, Palmer would have won the player of the season. But I can't argue against Foden. They are going to most likely win the league. His numbers are there. He's a creative monster. He's now going to take his position among the players you call world class.
World class. All right. Then we have Odegaard. How can you describe this Odegaard season?
You know the season. Okay, good. I like this angle you're coming from. Foden, what Foden is to City is what Martin Odegaard is to Arsenal. Without Odegaard, Arsenal are not going to go anywhere near the top. Odegaard has been their creator. He has been a fantastic.
I think I lost you there, T-Bit. Yeah, I think I lost you there, T-Bit. The network has been so bad at the moment. T-Bit, can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear? So I feel like what Foden is to City is what Odegaard is to Arsenal.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I feel like you can't. Odegaard is, Arteta struck gold when he found Odegaard. He scored crucial goals. He's made assists. He's been a vocal captain. He's done everything you need from a player this season. So you can't argue against Odegaard. In fact, the only reason why Odegaard is not going to be having a shout for player of the season is because, as usual, this butter and bread generation is obsessed with goals and assists.
Then also, before we move forward, this guy Palmer, in fact, they always say it's almost like he's the owner of Chelsea. Palmer FC. How do you describe this guy? From Man City, they sold him. Now he's a superstar in Chelsea. How do you describe his season?
I think one thing I want to rate Palmer for is his mental resilience. It takes something for you to back yourself at a very young age to leave Manchester City and come to Chelsea and carry them on your back without having back problem. The Don, if it was you carrying Chelsea, you would have
Yay!
back by now. You would have been using pain reliever.
I'm
But
telling
this
you.
is a young guy carrying Chelsea on his back without having problems with his back. So it goes to show that he is a phenomenal player. A phenomenal player. And I'm surprised that he is not getting into England's 11. Palmer should go to Euros. He should go to Euros. He should.
But going to Euro, do you think it's going to start?
Even if he doesn't start, he will be a good asset to have come off the bench.
All right, moving on to this one. The best player for ISTV this season, 2023-2024, goes to
Phil Foden.
Foden Gazette.
Foden.
Then
yes.
Now let's look at the best signing.
Declan
Rice. What about this guy from Aston Villa? This African guy.
Kudus. Again, the best signing. Okay, you know why I want to leave it to Declan Rice? I would have said Palmer, but again, the fact that Chelsea are not winning anything this season is not giving me the confidence to give Palmer. So Kudus also is going to have the same problem. What is West Ham challenging for? Nothing. So let's stick with Declan Rice. I mean, Declan Rice has been a fantastic engine for Arsenal. Fantastic engine.
All right, let's say Declan Rice. I love rice. I love eating rice.
We all love rice.
We all love rice. All right, the best newcomer. That's another angle.
Best newcomer.
Into the EPL. That's
let's see. Why not? Let's give Van der Ven.
Oh, that defender.
You know, when he wasn't available for Spurs knew his impact.
More Lannon. Straight.
So I mean, let's start from Arsenal. Their best newcomer. Rice is not a newcomer.
He's not a newcomer.
He's already.
Yes.
Who else did they buy? I think that's all. Raya has been in the league already. Let's look at Chelsea. I don't want to give Malo Gusto. You can already tell that Wisdom is a Chelsea fan with the way he was hyping Malo Gusto. He don't come with Malo Gusto.
Oh my God.
Who else? I think Palmer has been in the league. So if we go to City, Gadwall.
That's another thing.
We can give Gadwall because City are challenging for top titles. So it's going to be between Gadwall and Van der Ven. So
what about Kudus this time around? Best this is first.
Kudus is going to be high on the list. But like I said, okay, now if we say Kudus has been phenomenal, what do West Ham get for it? They've won nothing and they are not even going to go to Europe.
You're right.
So it's just going to be like can we
give it to
let's give it to Gadwall. Let's give it to Gadwall. All
right. Moving on to this best coach performance.
We can't go away from Unai Emery. No, it has to be Unai Emery. Unai Emery, beginning of the season, they done. Would you give Aston Villa a shout of making the top 4?
No.
So we can't argue against Unai Emery. It deserves to be there.
Okay. Unai Emery. That's
Unai Emery.
Now talk about Unai Emery. Where exactly has that guy really? I think he really surprised us this season.
He surprised a lot of us. I think what I didn't expect him to do mostly is to improve the mentality of his players. Do you know that Aston Villa play a very high line also? And it takes bravery for you to play a line that is that high. So I give him kudos for that. And he's also made some tactical changes. Look at what he did against Arsenal. He stifled their midfield and ensured that Odegaard and Rice were reduced to nothing. You understand? So he's adapted when he needed to adapt, and he's also played his own football when he needed to play his own football. You know, I would have given Arteta, but Arteta's problem for me, I will never forgive him for his performance against City. No, I mean, I asked myself a question. You have a chance to beat your greatest rival to winning the league, and you turn up at the Etihad parking the bus. Really?
Yeah. That game.
Why should he do that? He should have gone all out again. I mean, fight fire with fire.
But I'm just a bit skeptical about that game. If these guys would have gone out, say, oh, 2-2, City will beat them.
They done. We've seen Arsenal this season. We've seen their mentality. If you go toe-to-toe with City, it is a psychological thing for your players. Are you saying Odegaard cannot stifle Rodri? Are you saying that Geberius cannot disturb the City's defense? No, it's a mentality thing. Okay, look at that match. For the few times that they decided to go at City, they almost scored a goal. Then it begs the question, why did you do it throughout the match? So I think it's just Arteta was too scared.
All right, moving on to this one. The best young player, Cole
Palmer. If it's not that you're hood already, I foresee the done.
the biggest overachievers. Yeah,
I want to go down a bit and go to Bournemouth.
Oh,
you know why?
You? Why?
Beginning
Tell me.
of the season, beginning of the season, their coach lost matches back to back, and they almost called for his head to be sacked. But from finishing this is the highest that they will finish since the EPL has started. So I think that's why I want to stick with Bournemouth. I could also say Aston Villa, but Aston Villa is an obvious.
I thought you were going to say Aston Villa. I thought you were going to say Aston.
That's why I said I wanted to go down a bit, but since this is ISTV and we do quality, let's stick with Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
Okay. Aston Villa.
Let's do Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa for me anyway. All right. Moving on to the biggest underachiever.
What's the name of the team on your cap?
I that's what I was. I know the answer. Oh boy. Now talking about Manchester United, people have been saying, injuries. Even me, I was thinking injury. There was a time I was under the bandwagon of Ten Hag out. And there was a day I was just listening to one podcast like that, and they started, explaining about the injury. And I look at it, Manchester United has never had a complete back four for a whole season.
You don't.
What's your take on this?
In the, I think, 5th season of Jurgen Klopp, the season after we won the league, right?
Yeah.
There was no Van Dijk, there was no Gomez, there was no Matip. We had to rely on Nathan, I think, what's his name again? Phillips. And Rice Williams. At some point, we had to wait till January transfer window to buy Ben Davies that never played for us. And we bought Kabak that never got into his groove. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that season, we still finished 3rd on the league. The fact that we are making injury an excuse for Ten Hag goes to show that he doesn't even know how to transmit his idea. In modern day football, football should be the same up and below. Are you getting my point?
Let me get that. What you mean by that?
The same football you play for your senior team should be the same football you play in your academy. Imagine Liverpool winning the Carabao Cup with youngsters. Why not also Liverpool crying that we don't have players? They don't. But we won despite the fact that we had academy players. So the injury is not a big concern like you're making it feel. then Alex should be able to coach his idea. What we should be seeing is inconsistency. You get me now? What we should be seeing is let's say Evans there. I mean, let's say Martinez there around. They for play better like this, but they are not even showing us any idea. Is he counter attack? Is he playing us from the back? Is he a UJ? Is he Ogiri Bamila?
All right. That being said, let's move on to this one favorite game this season. People have been saying Man City versus that Chelsea 4-4.
Yes. That's the one I wanted to go to also.
That's
another one that would have gone close will also be Chelsea Manchester United. That match that Chelsea came from behind to win 4-3.
Oh yes. That's
another match that can also have a good shout to be there.
That's true. Let me put.
So which are we sticking with?
I'm going to stick with Chelsea 4-4 with Man City.
All right, that works also.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with that. That's what we have. This is ISTV season award for the best player, which goes to Phil Foden, the best signing Rice, best newcomer Vadio, and the best coach performance Unai Emery. Forget about it. The best young player Cole Palmer. Forget about it. Of Chelsea FC. If you look at how Chelsea are so happy that at least one of
at all we win
something. All right, and also the biggest achievers, Aston Villa, no doubt about it. And the biggest underachiever, Manchester United. After
forget about it.
And the favorite game goes to Chelsea 4 versus Manchester City 4-4. All right, moving on to this one. This one is going to be, people, I'm going to tell the viewers anywhere you're watching from, you could have a different opinion. Drop your comment. Over 10, we're going to rate them 1 to 10. Arsenal, what do you think they should be their rating?
Honestly, like I told Wisdom, if they don't win anything this season, I will not rate them beyond a 5/10, really.
Wow, 5.
I mean,
they will come for you. Let me put your face on this. 5/10. All right, we are this one. This is ISTV. This is what we serve better. We're not Player FC or
we don't work to the script.
We don't with the script. This is unscripted. If Arsenal they don't win the league, what will be their rating? You said 5/10.
If they win the league, then it will be 12/10.
Fantastic. So right now, at the moment, we are looking at Arsenal finishing not winning the league. It should be 5/10, right? Unscripted. Tibet. Tibi, what do you think? Arsenal 5/10. If they don't win the league, I'm going to put 6/10. If they don't win the league, there's no doubt about it. We can't say they are 5/10 like that. If they don't win the league, let me indicate it there. Not winning the league. Tibet.
I'm here, brother. I'm here.
Let's put it 6/10.
Okay. I'll take that.
I'll take that. Not winning the league. That's if they don't win the league, they should score
6/10.
But if they tomorrow, if they win the league tomorrow, that will be 12/10. Or more.
Yes. This is ISTV. Now, we do it different. We do it different.
All right. Aston Villa rates them over 10.
Well, Aston Villa, they got to Europe.
Yes.
And don't forget that they won our award for being the biggest overachiever. So for their own level, we give them 8/10. They've done well for themselves for their own level.
And
we cannot measure Aston Villa and Arsenal the same level. That's why Arsenal is scoring lower. For Arsenal, you are expected to win trophies. In Aston Villa, you don't really need to win trophies. But they've even gone ahead to almost win a trophy. If not that they lost the semi-finals to Olympiacos. So 8/10. In fact, I'm sure Aston Villa is going to get Unai Emery is going to get a pay rise for the job he has done this season.
All right, moving on to Bournemouth. Bournemouth also tried.
Bournemouth, for their season, let's give them
That's
7 over 10. 7
7
over 10. 7
7
over
over
10.
10. What about your club, Liverpool?
6 over 10. I will not be
Talk
sentimental.
to me. Why 6?
I will not be sentimental because how do we go from vying for 4 important trophies to ending with 1? You know, if I was Aston Villa, I would have had a 10 over 10 because I won the Carabao Cup. But no, this is ISTV and we must be honest. Liverpool should have done better. I mean, at some point, everybody was shouting quadruple.
Absolutely.
From quadruple, we ended up with Quadri. So Quadri and quadruple.
Oh my goodness.
So let's give them a 6 over 10. A 6 over 10.
6 over 10. All right, moving on to sports.
5 over 10. 5 over 10.
There was a time in the league, Spurs were on top of the league.
Yes, that's why I'm even scoring them 5 over 10 because why did they deceive us? Why did they almost think that go near now?
All right, Newcastle. What do you think about Newcastle season?
Also woeful season, 5 over 10. Also woeful season, 5 over 10.
Yeah. All right, to Man City now.
Man City should be scoring 11 over 10 even if they don't win the league. They don't. You know that this season everybody said City will crumble. They lost Gundogan. They lost somewhere Cancelo. Players, important players. And KDB went on injury at some point. The beginning of the season, they were not really playing good football, but here we are again talking about City.
They saw this guy. They saw this guy too. That's from Algeria. What's the name of this guy?
Mahrez. So I mean, you can imagine after sending all of these people, and you are still here, almost winning the league. So please, City season is a 9 over 10. If they win the league, 10 over 10. If they, we know we are not sure of what happens tomorrow. But I mean 9 over 10. And don't forget that they are also in the final of the FA Cup. I mean that's a good season.
All right, moving on to Chelsea. Chelsea this season.
Do you know why I'm going to rate Chelsea well, Didon?
Oh, tell me. You're good to rate them.
They managed to get into the Carabao Cup final 1. And 2 is, do you know at some point your club that their head is not correct were way above Chelsea, way above Chelsea. But we are now in a position where it is possible for Chelsea to even go to the Europa League. I mean, I was going to rate them a 4 over 10, but I'll give them a 6 over 10. A fantastic rating.
6 over 10.
6 over
now,
10.
There's this club now, Brighton. They've they don't.
5 over 10. Average. Even 4 over 10. Even 4. Because I mean, we expected more from them. I also don't want to believe the injury has been the reason. And let's not forget that they finally had to sack their coach, Roberto De Zerbi.
Yes. We are coming to that anyway. We're still coming to that.
4 over 10.
4 over 10. Now, moving on to Manchester.
You score it yourself. If I talk, I will log out.
No doubt about it. It's so poor. I'm going to go for 3 over 10.
Aha. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being honest.
It's abysmal season.
Yes, abysmal.
Now, West Ham too.
West Ham to also be a 4 or 5. We expected more. I mean,
more
they've shown
from
us
them
last season that they can do something. So why did they disappoint us this season?
Now, moving on to Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace is a funny one because since they've appointed their new coach, they've been on the rising. So let's give them 5 over 10.
5 over 10. Okay. 5 over 10 Crystal Palace. I actually want to open the table. The table looks like this. Where position are they on?
They are 12. They are 12.
Number 12.
Before their new coach, they would have been way down. So I mean,
they will have been way down.
Yes, let's just give them 5 over 10.
5 over 10. And the Wolves.
4 over 10. 4.
Woefully, they are number 13.
Do you know why? When they started this season, Wolves were winning almost every match. In fact, he made Bournemouth fan to call for the sack of Raiola because Gary O'Neill left Bournemouth for Wolves. So it was like, see the coach where we lose, don't they perform for Wolves? But all of a sudden, they just started going on the decline. So either a 4 or a 5 over 10.
All right, moving on to Fulham.
Fulham too is a 4 over 10 because Marco Silva should do way better than what is being there. They are inconsistent. Today they are winning a big team. Tomorrow they are losing to a small team. Robin Hood of England.
Now, this one's going to be controversial. I'm telling you. Everton.
Do you know why I want to rate Everton well?
They, in fact, I will talk to me.
They've
Talk to me on
had
this.
points deducted twice. And
Twice.
still they are
Look
way
at it.
above relegation.
Look at
Let's
them on
go
the
to the
table.
table. Let's go to the table. And they
About
are still
15th.
15th.
Oh, come
Let's
on.
give them a 7. Let's give them a 7.
They
seven
tried.
over
They
10.
tried. Two
Yes,
times.
yes.
Two
Two
times.
times. And they are still where they are. 7 over 10.
Now, moving on to Brentford, my brother. Talk to me.
Brentford, I'm disappointed.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
4 or 3 over 10. Imagine 16th Brentford.
16.
No. 4 or 3 over 10 season for them.
3. They disappointed me.
Yes, yeah, 3. That works.
All right, this is our rate your club. I'm not going to rate these people. They are already relegated.
They've rated themselves.
So this is our ratings for the club. Arsenal scoring 6. If they don't win the league, 6. But if they eventually carry the day, we're going to score them. Of course, yes.
Yeah,
10,
we're going to change that. Yes,
we're going to score them 10-10.
Yeah.
And also Aston Villa moving 8 over 10. Bournemouth 7 over 10. Liverpool, which Tibet is supporting, scored them 6. Spurs 5 over 10. And Newcastle also 5 over 10. Man City, we're still hanging on. They're 9 over 10. Chelsea 6 over 10. Brighton 4 over 10. Manchester United, let's forget about that. West Ham 4 over 10. Crystal Palace 5 over 10. Wolves 4 over 10. Fulham 4 over 10. Everton scored 7 over 10. Brentford,
I mean, they deserve a round of applause.
They deserve a round of applause. Wisdom is joining us back again. Wisdom, can you hear me loud and clear again? I think your network is still. Can you hear me, Wisdom? Unmute your mic. I lost Wisdom there again. Wisdom. We've done our ratings. That's our best 11, and also the season award has also gone the way. So let's move on to the next one, which is going to be the game for tomorrow. The last game for tomorrow, Tibet. The last game for tomorrow.
Okay, boss, I'm with you.
Do you know? Do look at this table right now? We are looking at who's going to win the league. Fine.
Okay.
We've already know the top 4. Fine. That's Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and Aston Villa. Already top 4. And now look at this. Is there any tweak? Is there anything you're looking at? The game you're looking at tomorrow, apart from Arsenal and Man City, which we've already covered. Is there any game you're looking at tomorrow? Like
they don't. Can we have this side by side with the league table? Is it possible for us to have it?
I'm not going to. We can, unless I'll be switching it over like this.
Okay, let's be switching so we can do the analysis from the table.
Yes. Now look at
let's go back to the fixture. We are having Arsenal versus Everton. Let's go back to the fixture. I mean, if you look at the league now, the position of Everton, they have nothing to lose.
They have nothing.
But the small teams always like to spoil the party. And if you know anything well, Sean Dyche is a fantastic coach at stifling the opponent.
Absolutely.
So the only reason why I give Arsenal the edge is they know what is at stake and they want to go all out.
And they are home.
But it is also going to be a very Arsenal thing to do, the done, for Arsenal to draw or lose the match tomorrow. Do you agree? It is also
crazy.
When the stakes are high, also Arsenal seem to always falter. The evidence is well documented from last season even to this season. Why should you go ahead and lose to Aston Villa? Why should you go and pack the box against City? So I mean, that match, our prediction should be Arsenal winning, obviously. But I'm just saying it is also going to be an Arsenal thing to do for them to draw or lose the match.
All right, let's go to the next one. Who do you think is going to win? Brentford versus Newcastle.
So let's go to the league table.
Let's go to the league table. This is the league table.
Now look at Brentford.
Brentford
they don't have anything to lose. But let's look at where Newcastle is.
Newcastle
is on 57.
Yes.
If they get 3 points, That would be 60.
60.
They would have the chance of going to the Europa League or the Conference League rather. So let's see. If they are playing Brentford, Newcastle should be able to win that match. But let's not also forget that when Brentford wants to be stubborn, they can be stubborn. But the same way we did for Arsenal, let's do for Newcastle. Since the stakes are high, let's back Newcastle to win the match, since they know it will also give them a chance to go into the Conference League.
All right. Moving on to this game tomorrow, Brighton versus Manchester United. How important is this game for Manchester United?
Now let's go to the league table also. Now, obviously, Brighton has nothing to play for. But the only thing that will be at the back of the players' mind tomorrow also to send the Zabi forth on a very good note. So it means they want to play well. Now, if you look at Manchester United also, they are also in the same shoes with Newcastle. The only problem they have is they have... oh, God. Manchester. What did we score their season again?
3. Is it 3?
No, don't go and change it. Go and change it. Put 2 over 10. And I'm being serious. Put 2 over 10. And I'm being serious. How did Manchester United get themselves to this point of even owing goals? Manchester United. So if we are going by what they've done this season, I honestly think that they will just draw this match. Honestly, this match.
All right,
because if they win and Newcastle wins, it serves no business. So let's give them a draw.
A draw in that game. Wisdom, can you hear me loud and clear? You unmute your mic.
Yes, I can.
All right, you're back.
I've missed an awful lot. I apologize. You know, these technologies could be crazy. My phone decided not to respond to me. I tried to press and do several things, and it didn't respond. I had to restart. My phone just did me like asthma.
You imagine.
Mr. Wisdom, there's no way your phone will not fail you, because the grammar you are throwing at your phone too, the head will overheat now.
You too like violence, TB. You too like violence.
Melembe. All right, Tom, we're having this game tomorrow. Burnley versus Newcastle. How is that game very important to both teams?
Burnley against Nottingham Forest. Burnley are already relegated, so I'm not sure they are going to give so much there. I'm sure they're already thinking of the new season. How can we get back to the Premier League? And I'm sure they will want to put in a show for their fans. But I think their opponents are the ones who are more desperate. They will want to get a win over the line in that game. Talking about Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are hanging by a thread, even though technically they are safe, because when you look at their goal difference and that of Luton, they are out minus 19, minus 31 for Luton. But the only thing that can change the entire thing is if they can score as many as 20 or more goals. That's Luton Town. So you could say technically they are relegated. Yes, that's it. So Nottingham Forest appears to be safe, but I think they will still want to give it a go. I think they will come out on top. It will be an away win for Nottingham Forest. Maybe 1-3, a goal for the likes of Hudson-Odoi. I think I see him scoring tomorrow. And Taiwo Awoniyi could equally get on the score sheet. We may likely see Morgan Gibbs-White equally scoring a goal for Nottingham Forest. I give them a 3-1 win, Nottingham Forest.
All right, moving on to this one. Very important game for Chelsea, the way I'm looking at. Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Tibit. Look at the table.
Let me look at the table. You know me, now table with the tail work.
Make we walk on.
So Chelsea is currently 6th, and if they get a win
against they are playing with Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Well, I think Chelsea will win that match, because I'm looking at their goal difference now. There's a lot at stake. It means that even if Spurs should lose their match, they have a better goal difference. So there's even a chance for Chelsea to make it into the Europa League. So Chelsea wins that match for me, because they know that suddenly, you see why I rated their season well. Suddenly from nothing, they are in
I
a
think
position
there was
where
a time they were in number 12 or 11, you know.
that we were all trolling them, and almost all of a sudden we are talking about them going to Europe, something that was never in the horizon for them before. So yes, I think Chelsea will win tomorrow's match comfortably. And Bournemouth, if you look at where they are, they have nothing to lose, they have nothing to play for.
Yeah. All right, moving on to this one. Wisdom, Liverpool, Crystal Palace will welcome Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa already make Champions League. No gainsaying. Wisdom, can you hear me? Or what do you think about the game? Crystal Palace.
Okay. Permit me to go back to Chelsea and Bournemouth and tell T-Bits that Bournemouth appeared to be a banana peel fixture for Chelsea. I know they're in a good run of form, Chelsea. They are unbeaten in as many games. And once at Stamford Bridge, I think they've only lost once there all season. And it's become a fortress for them. So you could say, yes, they go into the game with confidence sky high. However, it's good I point out that Bournemouth have equally had their best return in terms of points total in a particular season. And Antonio Raiola has built a team that is fluid in their football, a bit elegant, something nice, getting the best out of the likes of Dominic Solanke, Philip Billing, Semenyo, and others there that play for Bournemouth. I think they will want to put in a show. It's not going to be easy for Chelsea, but I think in the end, because they know that it's possible that Tottenham could draw against Sheffield United or something could just happen, they will just want to steal a match over Tottenham and go to the Europa League, cement it without waiting and praying that United would lose at City in the FA Cup. Then specifically in the one you talked about, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, it's a game where you could look at and say, there is nothing to play for here. Crystal Palace are comfortable, but they're in a good run of form. It was the same side that defeated Manchester United. That was a steamroll. They almost showboated in that game.
Don't talk too much about that game. Let's
we have to say it the way it is, especially when the duo of Michael Olise and Eberechieze are unsung. Once their synergy is displayed, you just see goals aplenty. If both will hit the right chord tomorrow, Aston Villa may be giving a run for their money. You can't take Ole Watkins away from the equation. He could want to increase his goal tally. John McGinn, the likes of John Durant, the man who scored 2 goals in their game last time out in the office to turn things around for them. There is the tendency for Aston Villa to walk away from Selhurst Park with all the wins they can. But Oliver Glasner and his side are equally in a good moment. I think that game would be goal and a draw in the end. It will be explosive, but both sides will have a fair share of the loot.
All right, moving on to this one. T-Beats, you are going to talk about this game, Liverpool versus Wolves.
I need to collect Mr. Wisdom's number after this show, because he's speaking with so much confidence that I think he can make me my next millions. Oh yeah, go. All right, talking specifically about the game you're talking about, I think this is straightforward, definitely, because you don't expect us to send Jurgen Klopp off on a very bad note, but I don't want to get emotional, really, because I thought I won't get sucked into the emotions of Jurgen Klopp leaving, but I still don't know if I want to watch that match tomorrow, because I'm not sure this big baby wants to cry that Jurgen Klopp is leaving. But it's going to be
Stop that thing. Stop it.
It's going to be an easy win for us, and you can see how massive the match is for Sky Sports to drop every other match. They are not even going to be projecting the title deciders. They've opted to pick Liverpool versus Wolves because Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool is bigger than England. I said it.
They are. I think I lost tidbit there.
No, I'm done. I've given you my analysis of the match already.
All right, moving on to Luton versus Fulham. Wisdom, do you have anything to say about that game? Fulham, I don't think too much on this.
Let me go back as well and pick it from where T-Beats left it. Emotional day, poignant, a roller coaster of a ride that game will be, because it will be the last time all of us will see Jurgen Klopp at the dugout, a man who oozes energy. His charisma is overwhelming. You look at his face, you see go, go, go. He makes that move, the fist pump. These are some of the things we are likely going to miss after tomorrow's game. I think he will succeed wherever he goes to. He has shown that he has what it takes to turn a sinking ship around, giving people like Tibet their first title in over 3 decades, bringing joy and delight to their hearts.
You are throwing stone. You are throwing stone.
So we all are going to miss him. I will personally miss him. He's an amazing person to work with. I mean, when you listen to the players talk about him, the goalkeeper Allison said he's just that man you want to relate with. He's just that man you want to relate with. He sees things from his own perspective. We will miss him. And I think that the players will want to give their best, dropping off when they should have held on. And tomorrow's game, they're not going to do anything like that. They want to pummel Wolves. And Wolves will want to show a bit of character too. But I think in the end, the boys will play for the big man. Luton against Fulham is a game where Luton knows that at the Kenilworth Road, let me point out this, Luton are a different beast when they play at the Kenilworth. They play like a top side, even though they are not. It's a place they score goals are plenty. You may win them, but expect goals from Luton. They just have a way of fighting towards the last quarter of an hour in every game, despite the scoreline that they are trailing. But against Fulham, Alex Iwobi said he wants to better his goal scoring run. 2016, is it 2016 or 2018 or thereabout, when he was playing for Arsenal, when he scored 6 goals. Is tomorrow the day when he's going to do that? That remains to be seen. But Fulham have a lot in the tank, obviously. Adebayo, the likes of Basi, Palina, what's his name? Most of the players there will want to give their best tomorrow. I think this game will be Fulham winning at Kenilworth, and I think it will be 2-3. Goal on both sides, because I will bet on Luton to get a goal. But I think Marco Silva and his charges will leave the Kenilworth happy, smiling with all 3 points.
With all the 3 points.
Mr. Wisdom, how much should I put on it, please? I won't buy Benz, I beg.
Moving on to this one. I think Man City, we've already spoken more about the game tomorrow. That's another big game, West Ham. About tidbits, do you think Man City will win this one convincingly?
Well, because like Mr. Wisdom said, I'm a regular customer of City, and I know how that game goes. And if you listened to Guardiola in his press conference, they couldn't help but throw a jab that he perceives that this match is going to resemble the Aston Villa's match, whereas West Ham wants to go full throttle, get a goal, and park the bus, right? So in my, like I said yesterday on the show, I'm a big fan of fairy tale ending. I love it so much in sports. So I see it that the first half, West Ham scores either a goal or 2 goals. Second half is looking like everything is going in the favor of West Ham. Then from nowhere, a deflected goal goes in. Damn! Then Arteta is checking his time. Come on, defend. Then towards the end of the match, Alan stands up. The Vikings! And he gets the KDB cross inside.
And inside the net. All right. The last game of tomorrow, the last on the table right there is Chelsea United will be welcoming Spurs. Wisdom. Does anybody has anything to lose? Sheffield already relegated. Spurs had a chance to cement their place.
In my usual manner of always taking it from T-Beats, I think we have to remind ourselves that City know what they stand to lose if they allow drama become their lot in tomorrow's game against West Ham. So I'm thinking they are going to be a bit cautious in the first 15 minutes or 30 minutes in their manner of trying to control games. I don't see a drama unfolding tomorrow. I know West Ham will want to be that take that wind off their sail. I just think Man City will want to manage their game tomorrow. They wouldn't be in for a drama, and I'm sure Pep will tell them. After
Don't
winning
do
Tottenham,
rubbish.
he said, after winning Tottenham, he said he reminded them, remember what happened with Conor Aguero. I can remember what happened between us and Aston Villa in the final game of the season. And he would tell his charges, I don't want this kind of roller coaster of emotions where we have to sit on the edge of our seats. Remember how he fell on the floor against Tottenham after that save made by
Yeah.
Stefan Ortega? Does he want that kind of experience lying on the floor that place where John is he Psalm 23?
Yeah.
Made me lie down in still
No, but
waters.
it's
I'm not
good.
sure he wants to lay down in still waters and restore his soul after the save. So I'm sure he
Yeah.
will tell them to manage the game very well, get the goals they need as early as possible, and then just walk down on time. Pedestrian as it may seem, I think City will win tomorrow's game comfortably. Sheffield United Spurs.
Mm.
Sheffield are relegated.
Yeah.
They should be planning for the new campaign in the championship and possibly a way to come back. Tottenham knows that if they lose grip in that fifth position, their place in Europe, especially second tier, will be under jeopardy because if they lose and Chelsea wins, then they will be toppled because they have, I think, minus three goals difference in terms of they and Chelsea. So they want to finish on a high. I mean, Ange Postecoglou said post-match, he realized that his perspective of Tottenham Hotspur and the club itself are different because he had seen Tottenham fans happy that City defeated them, which is something bizarre to note. So he's beginning to understand the terrain where he has gone to, and I'm thinking he will want to rally his troops for them to get the win over the line against Sheffield United. It's a beating side. It's a team that is down and out. They are going to be shot in confidence. They are going to be deflated as much as they will want to do better than lose by a staggering margin against Tottenham. Tottenham will win. I think Son Heung-min should be on the score sheet if at all he will have a chance, not miss the one he had against Manchester City. I mean, that would have been a big goal to score, but he fluffed his line in the end. I think Tottenham will come out on top 3-1.
All right, that's his alpha. We can go on that one. I'm trying to see the other news we have before we wrap up the show is let's talk about this Tibet Roberto De Zerbi to leave Brighton at the end of the season. What's your take on this one?
Personally, I think he's leaving because of ambition. It's no news that a lot of top teams, even if they are not specifically saying it, are in need of a top coach. With Chelsea decides to persist with Pochettino, there's a chance that if he starts next season woefully, they want to sack him immediately. You know, Chelsea are a no-nonsense team. Although people are saying that Todd Bowley is going to be a project owner. How true that is, we do not know. But if the news we are hearing in every quarter is true, in all quarters rather is true, then it might be something worth thinking. We don't know the decision with Ten Hag yet. We also know that if they persist with him, come next season, in the first 10 matches, if he fluffs his line, there's a possibility that is. So, I mean, I just see him as a young man who has greater targets. And with what I've heard with the transfer committee and Brighton this season, I think that is where they've been at loggerheads. Mr. De Zerbi does not want to work with the tools he has. He wants to dream bigger. I mean, get me these players, and Brighton are saying, work with what you have within our budget. And don't forget that there's still a situation with Bayern. everybody's rejected. I even heard this morning that
Everybody's
rejected
rejecting
Bayern also.
Bayern.
So I mean, everybody just they reject Bayern up and down. Now only me never reject them. I don't know why they don't carry proposal come. So I mean, if they employ me now, I don't already know who will be my assistant coach, Mr. Wisdom.
Now
Just
we
use Jama, destroy player. You gonna go there, you gonna come back, you gonna do this. So I mean, I can see it as ambition from the Zebi, and I wish the man luck, but he should not come near my club. God bless.
Wisdom, what's your take on this one? Roberto is leaving Brighton. Talk to me, Wisdom.
I would reject the offer of T-Beats to work with him because obviously he's not happy with the manner I'm managing my club. He would think I will overshadow him and upstage him in the managerial role. And before you know it, there will be a row between the head coach and his assistant, and the club will be thrown into a turmoil. So I would reject the offer to work with T-Beats. However, I agree with him absolutely. De Zerbi is actually looking at the bigger picture. For him to have left his role or announced today that he's going to leave Brighton, ladies and gentlemen, agree with me, he has agreed with a certain club somewhere. There is a club he has been in discussions with before now, and they may have reached a common ground. First, you have to unattach yourself from the club where you are currently, which is what he has done. So he's likely joining the club as a free agent, and any club can equally come for him at this point, even though that is contrary to his statement where he said during his break, he's going to decide where his future lies. He's an amazing manager. At the start of the season, I think around February, they were the top scorers in the Premier League. The first few weeks of the season, they were in the top four, in the top three, but things petered out. They dropped off in terms of their performance, and that could be no thanks to injury because it affected some of the core players in the team. And at the point when he lost the likes of Alexis McAllister, Moses Caicedo, and others who left, even Evan Ferguson, who was banging in the goals as a 19-year-old, got injured, and we've not seen the best of him so far ever since. I think he's looking at the bigger picture. He's a good manager. If Pep can speak highly of him, if Pep has reserved so much respect for De Zerbi, I think he's a man who is brewing in confidence and who is ready to work with better tools. He wants so many toys to build a team that is capable of challenging at the highest level. All the best to De Zerbi, and I think he's going to do fantastically well wherever he's going to pitch his tent next.
All right. I won't, before we wrap up the show, I won't leave this place without talking about this team this season. I'm talking about Bayern Leverkusen. T-Beat, look at that. Bayern Leverkusen are the first team to go unbeaten in a whole season in Bundesliga. 51 games unbeaten run.
Man. Except anybody would be a witch or a wizard. Nobody would have seen this coming in the beginning of the season. Absolutely nobody. So kudos to Xabi Alonso. He has been able to stamp his feet on this young group of players. And one thing I enjoy most about him is I think he has garnered experience over the years and is making right use of it, because as much as they are youngsters, there's also a good blend of experience in their team. You understand? So, I mean, I always say, people might not like it. I'm a fan of fairy tale, and I'm crossing my fingers that they go ahead and win the last two matches and cement an unprecedented unbeaten treble. First time that's going to happen in the history of football, I think. But I mean, like I also told someone, Xabi Alonso might be young, but he has his plan for the future. And for him to want to stay at Bayern Leverkusen, despite the fact that he knows that even if they promise him that they will keep the core of the players, they will still need to sell some players to get money. So if you're backing yourself that despite the fact that you might lose some players, you can still do it in another season, it says so much. And if he does it another season at this level, maybe not the unbeaten level, but at least maybe you're in around the second, third position, or even going ahead to win the league, you cannot deny the allegations or the rumors that are coming that he has his eyes on the Real Madrid job. But however, how that is true, we can't say for now, but you wouldn't put it beyond him if Ancelotti is resigning and Alonso is still doing well in Bayer Leverkusen.
For you, Wisdom, what do you think about this team? What's your take on this Bayern Leverkusen?
It's amazing, very amazing. It's a story never scripted. It's an end no one saw. It has become phenomenal of that very side, and you could pin that all on the manager for them to have garnered this level of winning mentality, the never say die attitude. I mean, you can count the number of times this season where they were at the cusp of a defeat and how they rallied round and came back into the game. Late goals scored by so many persons. I can remember Qarabag in the Europa League where they were 2-0 down at halftime. Before the game finished, they turned it by the scruff of the neck. Xabi Alonso has done an amazing job. He is possibly one of the managers we are going to discuss for a longer time, maybe a replacement to some of those who are already aging, the likes of Carlo Ancelotti, like T-Beats pointed out. Turning these young men, bringing the likes of Xhaka, who left Arsenal without winning the Premier League, to the German Bundesliga to win the Premier League, is a reminder to Arsenal that once you leave them, you are going to lay your hands on a trophy. I'm not throwing a jab at them anyway, but amazing for him. We can't conclude talking about this record without mentioning that two Nigerians made it happen. They contributed their quota in Victor Boniface. I think he has scored close to...
How many goals? I lost you there. Wisdom. Network is so bad out there. Yeah, this is how far we can go tonight. I want to say big thank you to you, T-Beats. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. I really appreciate it.
It's been a roller coaster show today. It's been awesome. I enjoyed every bit of it. And like I always say, there's nothing like live sports. Feel free to miss the O1 Shout out to Sandy Consumer. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so much, T-Beats. All right, one love, bro. And Wisdom, thanks so much for joining us on this one. All right, thank you so much, T-Beats, and also Wisdom joining us on this particular ending. I'm talking about the Premier League 2023-2024. That's going to be wrapped up tomorrow. And we've dealt with so many points, talking points. We looked at the best ISTV season award and also our EPL best 11. I'm talking about the Premier League, the ISTV EPL best 11. And also we also did 1 to 10 rate your club, and drop your comment if you feel like what do you want to, your own rating. You can also drop your comment as well. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. This is how far we can go tonight. I want to say thank you so much, everybody that's taking part in this section, and also all ISTV crew, all our followers, anywhere you are. I want to say thank you so much. On the same time tomorrow, where we come again for the other wrap up of, I want to say be safe out there. Thank you so much. Bye for now.